Hello everybody. How you doing today? Welcome to episode 5 of Conversation with Joe. Today we're going to discuss about an interesting subject, which is parenting. I'm going to receive one of my favorite couple, and yeah, it's going to be, I hope you're going to have a good time as usual with us, and I'm adding them on the line right now. Hello, welcome. Hi, everybody. Yay! Today we receiving the Jacksons, and we're going to talk about parenting.
Hi.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. Good. We're trying to fix the camera here.
I'm only seeing your face, Saskia.
I know. We're trying to fix it because it was working earlier, but now it's. Okay, can you go sideways? Oh, there you go. Where's the.
Awesome. Hi, Jennifer.
Can you can I go sideways? Can you? Sorry. Okay, so we can hold it. There you go. Hi.
Awesome. That's great. How you guys doing today?
Good. Good. How are you?
I'm excited. I'm good. All right, so let's do this.
I should have worn another shirt. My shirt.
I'm sorry.
I should have worn another shirt. My shirt looked like the wall.
I didn't even realize. Thanks for letting us know. All right, thank you so much for joining us today, guys.
Yeah. No, thank you for having us.
Jennifer said the beer looked good, Vlad. Don't worry, you got this. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys the first question, which is how it is to have 3 kids.
Busy. It is, but we didn't get somebody that didn't just drop 3 kids on us. We had the progression, first, and then anticipating second one, and then so we learned how to navigate, how to handle one, then two, then three. Yeah, and you also learn from the first one. So all the mistake you made from the first one, you don't repeat from the second one. And having two, you made mistakes with two, and you don't repeat it for the third one. And it get really really easy, or should I say easier, because um you know what to do, you know what to expect, because the kids come with a direction on how to raise them. So
So, so basically, you're telling me 3 is the magic number?
uh, if you can, yes. The more you can, you learn with every one of them.
The more you get. Okay.
But it gets easier. That's the thing, because right now is we have a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 10-year-old, and the basic thing that we need to do for the 4-year-old is taken care of by the older two, and the 4-year-old, because she's watching the other two, she basically is independent because she knows what to do. She's watching, and that's would become easier.
That's interesting. I'm taking note. Okay.
Feel free.
3.
Yeah.
All right. Jennifer said all the mistake. Ye poor loli. All right.
Was learned for the first time with her. Yes. And where mistakes were made, we have learned. We talked about it. We open up to her, and she opens up to us, and that's it.
All right. Did you have any role model parenting wise, like anybody who, I don't know, inspired you, give you advice, or
It was my dad. I would say my dad. Well, technically, there is different facet of that role model part, but for me, it was my dad, because I witnessed my dad coming from winging how to raise a kid or kids to actually learning how to do it. And
okay.
so, like, at the end of his life, my dad really knew and nailed down how to raise children. You know,
Mm.
so that's for me. That was the big part of it, because the mistake that he made with me, he didn't repeat it with my brother and my sister, and the mistake that he made with my brother and me together,
he didn't repeat it with my sister. So, and I saw him became like
The power
that,
of multiples.
the kind of like angry dude to a really gentle dad.
Wow.
So that's kind of like me, and yeah.
You know, for me, it's actually two sets of people.
Mm.
My parents, because I learned a lot of what I like and what I don't like in parenting aspects,
Okay.
and I try to just take what I like and leave the rest. Or like, I don't know, some things just made sense then and just make sense now. So, you know, kind of tweaking things as we go
Yeah.
with kids. So it's definitely a learning thing. And when we came here, we met that new couple. Now they have 5 kids now.
Okay. I'm
And I'm
sorry.
telling you, they were down the street doing their things like they only had one.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
they are so impressive with their managing skills and how they get things done together. Like they're just amazing.
I'm sorry for my faces because I only have one child. So everybody that got more than one kid, I got so much respect for you because honestly, I don't know how you do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. What's the most important thing that you've learned as a parent so far?
The most important I learned as a parent is to listen to your kids.
Mm,
You'll be surprised what good advice a kid can give. If a kid doesn't feel comfortable, the kid will tell you. So not like hearing what they say, but actually listen to it. Because uh, how can I explain it? It's like if I go to your house and I start jumping on your couch, you will tell me you don't like what I'm doing. But the kids in my house, and I'm telling the kids what they're doing, which you're doing something wrong. But in return, you need to give them the respect and let them tell you what they don't like you doing to them, and actually listen to them. So that's kind of like that's my answer.
Yeah. I learned that even though kids are like sponges,
mm-hmm.
born like a blank canvas that you can, you know, mold anyway, they each have their own personality. No matter how you teach them, they all receive it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, what Brad is saying, listening to them is how you really find out what they like, what they don't like, what are they responsive to, and what just doesn't compute
Yes,
to them.
yes,
And like where you need to get down to the level and really explaining things, or when you just like, okay, put your foot down, that okay, this is what I need to be done, so that's what's
yeah.
got to be done.
There is a time and place for putting your foot down, but that's the last resort. But the
Mm-hmm.
kids basically, you remember at the beginning, I said kids don't come with direction. They actually do, because if you listen to them, they will tell you how to raise them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about listening, the last parenting session we had, you said something that stayed with me, and I kind of like started practicing it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. You said something like, you were talking about how different every kids were, and to have them talk to you, you have to find what's work and the activity that they like and do it. And it's something that I never really pay attention to. I know like my son talk a lot, but he never really expressed stuff like their stuff. And I started doing that, and I was like, oh, I need to say thank you. That's really great. It really working, and we actually got closer because he started telling me a deeper story. I'm gonna take a question real quick. Jennifer asks, should you like let your kids dictate how to raise them?
Yes and no.
That answer.
Yes and no. Yes, because you need to know who the individual. Because the kids, we call them kids, but I just call them grown up in training. Means I still give them the respect as a human being. They are human being, you know. Because the kids doesn't mean like they are lesser value. Now, yes, you need to let them dictate how who they are, and by who they are, you can manage them better. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I say manage. I think that's the word. That's the one word. But raise them better. So
Okay.
yes, yes, you need to listen to them and see what they like and what they don't like, and you use that to actually give them the information they need for future time. Like for example, us right now, we have kids. We have my eldest. She's gonna be 10. Right,
Mm-hmm.
training her to be 15.
Okay.
But the for me to train her to be 15, I need to know who she is now. So when at 15, I know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah, like I'll try to give you an example. My oldest, she doesn't care for bribery.
No,
Okay.
You do this or I'll do that. She doesn't respond to that.
no.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh well, fine, do it. I don't care.
But the youngest two do.
But my middle one, that's his incentive because he knows what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, he does something nice one day, and I'm like, okay, here's a reward for your good behavior.
And he's
he
over
can
the
keep
moon.
he's so happy he can keep doing this because he knows he's gonna get something.
Yes.
Wow.
He likes, and that's just my oldest. Yeah, about all of that stuff. She's just, if you want her to respond, it's just something as I would be really happy if you do that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds like a people pleaser,
Mm-hmm.
so she didn't get you that far.
Yeah.
So it's something that you're catering to, not only to teach her
Okay.
that some things need to be done, but also that she shouldn't try to please everybody. She should just do something
Yeah.
because she sees that they need
It's
to.
the right thing to do.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Jen, they don't dictate how you raise, but in learning how to listen to them, we find out how to raise them, each of them separately.
Mm-hmm.
And the youngest one too, like the eldest two, they love you if you do something for them. The youngest
Mm-hmm.
does not like you to do anything for her until she wants
Oh
to.
wow.
Yeah.
Yes, she's 4. She doesn't want you to brush her teeth. She doesn't want you to shower her. She doesn't want you to feed her. She doesn't want any of that. She's been like that since she was 3.
One.
Well,
Wow.
but like if she brush her teeth and you take the brush from her and try, you basically rob her from her dignity. For like, basically that's what she showed. She would cry, but she's like, okay, here, dress yourself,
Wow.
and she will do it. And if she needs help, she will come back and she'll be like, hey, I need help with this. Yeah,
Wow. She was born grown.
Pretty
yeah,
much.
pretty much.
All right. Next question. Um, what's something people seems to misunderstand about the way you raise your children?
Ooh, that's loaded.
Where do we start?
Basically, here's the thing: people look at our kids and they're like, "Oh, like for example, Lauren, all my kids, for example, at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
they will like after 3 weeks, they will sleep the whole night, 3 to 4 weeks. Dave, it took
Mm.
longer because I was work. It was
Dave is Dave.
Dave is Dave too, but after 2 months, all my kids they slept all night.
Mhm.
Wow.
And basically when we go to party, other kids will go for sugary stuff. My kids, I have picture of them with broccoli, with they want food, and then if there is space they will go for the sugary stuff. People ask us how we do it, and when we give them the answer how we do it, they literally look at us like we have 3 eyes and we are using the yeah. And this
Wow.
one thing they misunderstand about us is like they want what we got
Without,
with the label of we are abusing them,
Wow.
trying to get it without the process that we went through.
Wow.
Yeah.
and well, the parenting nowadays is so different for so many people.
Mm-hmm.
One way that we decide to raise the kids, somebody else to probably raise the eyebrows at,
Yes.
and that's okay because everybody have their own ways to do it. But assuming that we're abusing them when the kids are like, they don't look terrified to be around us,
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that would be a sign of abuse.
They're independent.
Wow.
They're happy. It's like yes.
We are strict parents, we're not severe
No.
at all. That's what, like I said, listening to them is a big part of that, because
Okay.
we know what we want, we know how we need them to behave. When they behave the right way, we incentivize it. We reward good behavior, and that's one way to do it. But at the same time, when the bad one happens, then we're not gonna let it just go.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was telling Pat the other day, I'm like, I wonder if Rosie would ever dare to drop herself in the middle of a store because I didn't buy her on it.
No.
I would pay her to do that, and she wouldn't.
And then I was thinking the same thing. Jennifer said, I don't even think you guys are strict. And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I've seen you. Like, how people even say that? Like, I don't get it. But okay.
But the thing about being strict is about reward. Like, for example, they have all the privileges.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lauren, when she go to sleepovers, she's like, man, she doesn't like sleepovers anymore because she go to bed at 7 and wake up at 5 or 6 or 7, whatever.
I don't
And
want to do that.
I don't want to do that because we give her the privileges and we let her know that whatever you get right now is a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
taken away from you at any time if you don't behave.
Yeah.
Right? Like vacation, Friday night and Saturday night, 2:30 a.m. is your bedtime.
Yeah.
You go to bed later than that, we take it because there is a gap of age between her and the youngest two. And because of that, we told her that, okay, you want to watch your stuff. We don't want the other one to watch it yet. But then,
Okay.
and then it's like the other one goes to bed around 8:30, 9, whatever. And then at that time, the three of us, me, her, and Saskia, we watch something. We go to bed
Mm-hmm.
11. And after that, or whatever we do after that, from 11 to 2:30, that's your time. But that's only during vacation, and during school days, it's only Friday night and Saturday night. That's it. If you violate that, we take it away from you. You go to bed with the kid. That's being strict.
That's amazing.
Like 2:30, like yeah.
Yeah.
And she knows that she's comfortable with it so much that she was like, I just want to go to bed, and it's like 12
Yes.
because she knows that if she wants to stay up to 2, she can.
She can. So you give,
Wow.
and most of the time she doesn't even take it. She knows she can go to sleepovers, but she doesn't want to because it sucks for her.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So you want to,
I'm speechless. And they call that strict. I don't even want to let you guys know what Adrian's bedtime is at this point.
yeah, and
Actually, my mom used to give me great bedtime. She didn't care what time I went to bed as long as it was weekends or vacation.
yeah, yes,
Wow.
So I took the page out of that book.
Strict-ish. That's what Jennifer said. Okay, so how do you manage disagreement, like when it comes to decision making, parenting? How do you manage the disagreement? Like, let's say that you Saskia agree on something, and Vlad, you don't think that's like So
We never disagree in front of them.
no,
okay.
Like whatever Vlad is gonna do, sometimes I'm like, but I'll room
Yeah.
and then wait for him to finish doing what he's doing, and then after, when the kids are out of hearing sight, anything, then I'll tell him, well, I don't know, maybe we could have just done this instead.
Yeah.
And then if he did do it, I'm not gonna go and undo what he did.
yes.
Okay.
We don't undo each other. Like, let's say, something that they be disciplined for, and
Mm-hmm.
I put them in the corner, she won't take them out. And if
Okay.
she put them in the corner, I won't take them out. So the thing is, like, if someone, so the kids know if someone punished them or
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna go to the other parent and kind of get it on them. Like, if I say no TV for a week because of something that happened, they can
Mm-hmm.
go to mommy, it's like, we watch TV. So mom will be, no, dad said no TV, please no TV. So it's
Got
kind
it.
of, yeah, we don't disagree in front of them. And we always trying to be on the same page. Like, if I'm doing something, I'll let her know what I'm doing before
Mm-hmm.
he knows what's gonna happen. And the same thing for her, if she's gonna do something, she let me know
Mhm.
and I know what she's doing. So at that point, after coming, they were shocked, like, "What are you doing? Why are you?"
Okay.
So that prevent that disagreement in the future as well.
That's amazing. And I just love everything I'm hearing right now. What's the best compliment you ever receive as a parent?
Oh, my kids are independent.
Mm, yes,
Everyone.
they are.
Oh, the best one I got. The best one is when someone is about to watch the kids. I'm like, feel free to
Yeah.
please say no for food, and that's a parent dream to have the kids eat all the time. Because my kids, they will keep eating if you keep feeding them. Please say no. Like they go
Wow.
they will still tell you they're still hungry. And the thing is, they're not hungry for cake, they're not hungry for candy. They're hungry for food. I mean, like spaghetti, rice, broccoli,
Meat.
meat, whatever it is, dinner. Like dinner, consistent stuff. That's what they want. Fruits, like my daughter, like all of it, every morning, when they wake up, they take care of themselves. The first thing they do is breakfast. They come to me, can I have a fruit? Do you have breakfast yet? Yes, yes, you can have a fruit. They go get their fruits. And
Wow.
then they will eat chips. And then they will eat whatever. Dinner time, if you give them chips, they will eat it. They'll be like,
Where's
"Where's
dinner?
dinner?"
What's the food?
So that's the biggest compliment I got from people. Like they're independent, they eat.
I have a question from one of our listeners. She asked, "What's the best age to start disciplining your kid?" And I think she has a 1 year old.
A 1 year old, the best age. Oh boy, that's okay.
And how? And also, sorry, she asked, and how to go about it.
Okay.
You have to go with the level of understanding of the
Of
child.
the child, yes.
So you can't put a 1-year-old in a timeout for 5 minutes because
No,
that's not gonna mean anything.
no, because
No
they're
hurt.
gonna forget why they're there.
1-year-old really is just about. I guess it depends what he or she did. But if you're like, okay, don't roll the ball there. I don't know, something weird. But okay, stop rolling the ball or something, and he does it. The best thing you can do is either redirect his attention to something
Mm-hmm.
else or take the ball away.
Take the ball away. Yeah. And you need the thing. Okay. The thing in my childhood that I hated the most was when you're getting disciplined, they will discipline you because they say so or because they feel like it or something. I know it's not because they feel like it, but they never explain.
Joy.
They never give you an option. Never
Okay.
without an option. You know what I mean? And it's like you have to understand, like a 6 months old, when you talk about them, they know you're talking about them. They understand everything you're saying. Even though they cannot communicate with you, they understand everything you say about them.
And they catch energy.
And they catch the energy.
Okay.
The the discipline of six, but between less than a year, I say between you and nine, I guess it's a little dark understanding why it's being taken away from them. But this is where it starts. So
Okay.
you train a 1 year old to be a 1 year old at 9 months old.
Mm.
You train a 5 year old how to be a 5 year old between 1 and 2.
Mm.
So and yes, that's I think one and the things like it's you need to see in subject. If they roll the ball somewhere you don't want to, you warn them the first time and you tell them
Okay.
the option. Don't roll the ball here. If you roll the ball,
Okay.
I will take it away from you next time.
Yes. They don't just take it away from you.
You don't just take it
Warn.
away. So the first time you tell them it is not good, I will take it away. The second time you take it away, you'll be like, I'm about to take this away because you roll it there, but I'm gonna give you a chance. Here's the ball. Don't roll it here.
Oh, give them an option. Roll it there.
Roll
Okay.
it next time. And they come back, they roll it the same place again, you take the ball away for a week.
Mm. It's like basically you always make provision for the future.
Yes.
Yes. A 1-year-old really, if you try to take the ball and you're smiling and laughing, for him,
Okay.
that's
That's a
fun.
good.
So actually
Yes.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
No, like you better have your serious face on, and it's like, okay, you're serious. You don't want it there. You
Yeah.
want it here.
And they're gonna cry. And the worst thing about it is it's gonna hurt you. They
Mm.
cry, you're gonna turn around, you're gonna cry too. I mean,
Yeah. Basically, when they're gonna hurt themselves.
yes.
I hope that
I
is.
hope. And one thing I always tell my son is like, "Oh, Mom, why you keep bringing this up?" I'm like, listen, I'm not bailing nobody out of jail. You go
Yeah.
there, you stay there.
Mhm.
I'm not answer the
All right. Johnny, you said, she said, I didn't know he could understand all that at 1 years old. I have been too easy on him. Swear to you. Yeah, kids are very, very smart.
They just can't. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my next question is, what would you say is the thing that make you more proud to be a parent?
The day,
Is the things or the thing
the things that make me more proud as a parent.
to be a parent?
To be
Mm-hmm.
a parent. Everything I do is for my kids. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like when the kids like sometimes you overhear your kids talking to other people, or you see kids come to you and they're like, "Yeah, they say that the dad or the mom is the best mom," ever. And they don't hear that from other children. That for me, that's something. Yeah.
Oh, I thought like I mean I know every parent's not the same, but I thought at certain age every kid will think like their parents are the best parent ever.
Actually, now talk to the teachers, the kids, a lot of the kids want nothing to do with their parents.
Mm. Wow.
You know what I mean? Especially in lower age group, they just want to be like, because at home, for them, home sucks.
Mm.
The parents are not there, or the parents are too strict or less strict, or sure that they don't care. Again, it's not fault of the parents because nowadays life is so expensive that the parents always going.
Yes.
But for us, it's we make dedicated time like for them. Like tonight, we're gonna be watching TV with them, and I'm not watching my show. I'm watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm bored to tears, but it's like I'm watching their show. And the worst thing about it
And
is
then
like,
later when they make the reference about these shows, then we know what they are. And
yes,
I know, right?
that makes them happy.
yes, and
And it can be such a mental torture. Oh my goodness.
because they watch the same thing over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And it's like, man,
It's supposed to be so excited and fun.
yes,
Yeah. I've heard a lot, and it's for me. It's sad to hear that when some parents are like, "Oh, I can't wait for them to go back to school,"
yes,
Wow.
And sure, it can be challenging. I guess it depends on every family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you don't say that to a kid, they can pick it up.
they pick it up. Yes,
Yes,
They
they
understand,
do.
and that feeling is not a good feeling to feel like they just want to get rid of you.
yes,
You know, so we don't feel like that. We we love having them around. So every time people are like, "Oh, vacation! Oh my gosh, I can't wait for September." I'm like, I'm actually so happy vacation is coming. I'm counting the days.
and it makes life easier too because the thing is like everything is split together. You know what I mean? They're
Mhm.
there, they do their stuff. You enjoy them more. You with them
Yeah.
more. You get to see them grow. You don't one day show up and you're like, oh, you were 6'9", now you 6'8". Wow. You know what I mean?
You're 6'9", now you're 6'8".
Yeah,
You
they
shrunk.
And it's actually interesting that you're saying that because I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, COVID was horrible and everything, but I was like, that actually brought me closer to my son, because like as you all know, like I'm a single mom, I work a lot with it, but having him, home, me home, and the homeschooling, I get to know like a different side of him that
yes.
I didn't know when he was going to school and how to deal with everything, and having him telling me all the stories all day long and making plans for the future. And
Yeah,
I was like, that's interesting. I didn't know this boy as much as I thought that I knew him.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like spending time like no one has a lot of time, but the thing is like Friday night, if Friday night after school, if you work Monday to Friday that is, Friday night you sit down, you watch their show. Saturday night you watch their show. You with them.
it doesn't have to be just TV. It could be a board game.
Yeah.
Board game. You
Just go
Yes.
for a walk together.
but you do what they want to do, not what you want them to do. Like I know
Exactly.
where do we going out eating the other day. Was it Saturday? We went out eating.
Friday.
Night. We went out eating. I was gonna go to some restaurant that I wanted to go, and Lauren is like, "Let's go for sushi." Like, oh boy, we're gonna find sushi at this time. We went for sushi, and we had a blast. We had a great time. They chose it. For them, it matters because they chose it and we did it, and that's why for them we're like the best parent ever because we listen to them. Yeah.
And even knowing what's going on in their head, because like we said earlier, they're not expressing everything really. Even the youngest one, they have a lot in their head. My son started talking to me about COVID and stuff he watched on YouTube. And I'm like, where did you hear all that? And how did you find that? I'm like, you teaching me stuff. What's going on? He said, yeah, everything is online and you do this and you do that. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? But anyway, so next question. If you could, what's the best advice would you give to somebody who's actually feel like they're struggling as a parent?
No, if you first of all, the parent, you need to. There's twofold to that answer for me. There's parenting group. So go to those parenting group and see what they do. Now, from what they do, basically look at what you actually doing, but that will help you to
Hey, Aldo.
that will help you to see from a third person perspective what you're doing. So for example, let's say you are really strict with your kids and you're yelling at them, which you shouldn't be. Go to those parent group and seek out those individuals that are actually doing that.
Okay.
Inspect what they're doing, like from spectate it, and you will automatically see what you're doing wrong at that point. And two is listen to the kids. Like if you're hurting your kids' feeling, they will tell you you're hurting their feelings. Yeah. Don't just hear it, just listen to that and act accordingly. And don't be afraid to say I'm sorry.
Yep. That's a big one. A lot of parents don't think that's. I wasn't raised with that. I think if I ask my mom to say sorry about anything right now,
yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like don't be because when you go to the like for example, look at you and your boss. If your boss is bad or shouldn't be doing, he come to you and say I'm sorry. You feel good, and it gives you more strength to actually do the work properly. It's the same thing with the kids. If you tell them I'm sorry, they will understand that. Okay, you understand. They understand that you messed up, and they will accordingly. And they will act accordingly because for them at that point, whatever you tell them, like I'm sorry, I did this. I shouldn't be doing that. Next time, I'm gonna do this. And while you're saying this, you literally go back and tell them, if you don't want that to repeat, if I'm doing this. Don't go all of a sudden while I'm in the situation and tell me, don't do it. Wait for me to cool off and come back and be like, hey, you're doing it again. You did it again. So I want you to help me be a better parent. And I'm going to teach you how to be a better adult.
Yeah. Every so often I will just be, especially with my oldest, Lauren, will just sitting like, okay, well, if you have anything, I don't know, just talking.
Yeah.
Is there something, I don't know, if you were in that situation, how would you like me to handle this, whatever, better?
Yeah.
And then she will say. Sometimes we end up talking and, seeing the good and the bad side of what she has in her head.
Yes.
And I will see, like, okay, you know what, I will do that from now on. I will try to remember to do this.
Yes. And if I don't, please remind me.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, you can put a little thing in there being like, next time, can you do your best for this situation not to happen? Or
to be handled differently.
And they will listen because they don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Struggling parenting have different levels. It, first of all, depends on how old the child is.
Yeah.
Struggling parenting with a newborn could mean, you have hormones raging. right? So that's the thing that you need to pay attention to. So the best thing to do really at this stage is find groups of parents that have child the same age as yours.
Okay.
So they kind of going through the same thing, so they can kind of guide you in different directions. Facebook parenting groups are great, but some of the comments can put you down further.
Yeah.
So take what you see.
Leave the good and take
Take
the good, I mean,
Take
and leave the other one.
Yeah,
take it with
see
a pinch
really
of
what
salt.
can help you grow.
Yes.
Like certain comments you see it and you can just feel the negativity coming in.
Yeah.
The right one.
Yes. But some people, a lot of people, human beings in general, when they see you want to be better in life, they're doing, and their life is miserable, they want you
Uh-huh.
to be miserable with them. So
With them.
that,
They might not
yeah,
even feel like they're doing that, but that is really what they're doing.
That's the effect that has on you.
Yeah.
it's not malicious from them. Again, it is not malicious, but for them, it's like, they, that's how they, so, you know,
Every family have their own things that work and things that don't. When you're struggling, you reach out to somebody else. You take whatever information that they have, but at the end of the day, you don't want to have to decide: are you gonna take all of the information, part of it,
Yes.
or at all?
yes.
You
Because
have to assess it and see what's might apply to your situation and what's not going to.
Yes.
All right. Next question. If you, what would you change if you had a chance? Like, I know you have 3 kids, right? With your first child, what would you do different based on everything that you know right now?
Uh, scheduling work.
Mm.
I will more because we made a lot of mistakes at the beginning with because we are by ourselves here in Vancouver. We
Mm-hmm.
were our family, and even though we were paying people to watch the kids, I think like we didn't because we were chasing. We wanted to make a better life for ourselves, and at that point too, financially we were really struggling, and
Okay.
I like the best course of action at that time was really really own into the schedule.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's for me. That's the biggest thing, and I didn't repeat that mistakes with the. And the thing is, like, it was our ignorance too, because we were
Mm-hmm.
new to the area, kind of new to
And new
Canada,
to the
kind of new
country.
to BC. You know, we didn't know that if someone have to babysit, you need to have their social insurance number for tax purposes.
Wow. Okay.
And if they don't give you that, basically they'll it even if they have a license.
Oh wow. Okay.
And the person we had watching our first uh, the first time around was not the best. And
Mm.
as we made more research, we kind of figured out these things, and that's when we kind of find it better to watch the kids.
Mm. Got it. Oh wow. That's yeah.
Yeah, do more research is probably be at the top of the list for me because I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how to change a diaper.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
so every step of the way, I had to learn something new. And for example, if I had known the existence of postpartum doulas, I would have gone right there and find some. Because after I had my first, I didn't, like I said, I didn't know anything. So having somebody there to help with
To
breastfeed,
help.
to just know things, she could have probably guided me because that's part of the role of the postpartum doula is
Yes.
guiding through new resources.
Got it.
And a lot of help for that.
Okay. Where do you see you in a couple of years as a parent? How do you see your children? If you don't mind sharing with us.
So our eldest is 10, and for me personally, my personality is I am preparing her for 15, and I'm preparing me for when she's 15.
Oh boy.
Because a 15-year-old That's for me. 15 is adulthood. When you hit 15, I'm no longer a parent. I'm a guardian. There's nothing I can tell you, and there's nothing I can do to change your mind at this point. That's already an adult. All they're waiting is they're waiting. They're doing that three. It's like someone 3 years away from retirement. They're just doing their time at this point. Now for
I'm
them,
thinking about how we were at 15.
I was
Triple that by like 4 times, 10 times.
oh, I was the worst child at 15. I was. But the thing is that when I was 15, my parent wasn't ready for me to be 15. I wasn't.
Okay.
Now, if you look back into when you were in second in Haiti, troisième
Mhm.
in Haiti, there were those kids that you're like, man, they have the freedom, they know what they're doing. And right now, if you look at those kids, they're really successful. Those kids, their parents was strict as well.
Yeah.
But the parent gave them the freedom, but they
Yeah.
knew what to do in the. They understood how life worked. Like at 15, when I basically ran away from my house, like sneak out the house, and I'm out.
Mhm.
I'm doing like stuff that I got a gun pulled at me at 15,
Oh
and
my God.
they were like, "You an idiot? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Man, those people are mature," but it's not like they're mature. The parents got them to 15. So
Yeah.
I want to get my kids I want to get her to get to 15 successfully, and I
Yeah.
want to be ready for when she's 15. So that's kind of like what we're doing for the next 5 years.
Yeah, they're keeping like communication always open,
Yeah.
Open.
because I'm sure they will come with things that were like, I want to say no, but why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm in denial right now. I'll just enjoy the time.
The world is changing, right? Like things that they
I know.
10, 12 years old. I don't think I knew that until I
Oh,
was
I
like
did.
17. Okay,
And school is not helping at all.
Lauren, right now, I told her, like my eldest, I told her, you 10. When I was your age, I was 10.
haha.
And I told her that I know you know more than I think you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm like, you don't need to repeat. I know you know more than I think you know. So at this point, you need to understand that I do know what you're doing. But if you want to do something, you come and tell me. If I don't agree with you, I will seek clarification. Because I say no doesn't mean it's no. Because
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable with it. But like for example, she wanted to go with the neighbor downstairs. She wanted to go by the seashore and pick up stones, like
Okay.
at 9 p.m. It's already dark, low tide.
Wow.
Like, okay, that's some hippie stuff. What are you doing in the dark at 9 p.m. with a flashlight to pick up stuff? Why, why well, because we can pick a stone and we can start. My answer is no, but you go ahead and do it. They came back with stones and they had like a big, like a small little uh,
Mhm.
Frame?
frame portrait with like the stone glued together like rabbits, like looking at like dad, mom, Rosie, Dave, and I'm like, oh, for her that's a good satisfaction. If I said no, I will rob her from that experience.
Yeah.
So
And
that
obviously, we know
yeah,
that we can trust the lady that we sent her with.
yeah, that's
I know, right? Most important.
Right?
Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. All right. So, where can people who might have question about parenting reach out to you? I know you guys are on Instagram, but what other information you want to share with us?
I guess Instagram is probably the easiest.
yeah.
Okay.
The YouTube channel that she hasn't posted in a while, but
Videos are still there.
the videos are still there, and those are kind
Mhm.
of at those as well.
Yeah. Well, it's just my experience with
Yeah,
having my kids go each step of the way.
yeah,
So yeah, if you need anything, just go to YouTube channel.
yeah.
Just type the parenting experience.
Yeah. It is kind of hard right now with the scheduling and everything is busy.
Mhm.
before, but I'm hoping in the future.
I would say thank you so much, guys, for being with us today. And I want you to know, me personally, I've learned a lot as a parent, just like watching you guys interacting with your kid and talking you. You're one of my like favorite couple ever currently right now. 15 years of marriage. I want everybody to know that. And especially that you guys got married so young. And I look up to you a lot, and especially like Flat, and the way I see you interacting with the children and the discipline, and how, like you said, they're very independent. I just want you to know that I found that you're doing great job with the kid, and I'm really amazed every time I talk to you and I hear the stories. I love it. I just love it.
Um, okay.
Thank you so much for being with us today and taking the time. I know you guys are so busy. Jennifer said thank you for all the tips. Janinu said thank you. She's gonna go follow you guys. They have like, yeah, Saskia has a lot of great tips, and I'm so grateful for all her mistakes so I can learn from her. And open communication, yes, that's great. And let me see what else. So yeah, thank you so much for taking the time and be with me and have the chat with me. And that's all. That's all the question I had today. I don't know if you want to add anything.
The thing I want to add is the kids are adult in training. They are human being and they understand everything that's happening. So if you treat them with respect, in turn they will treat you with respect.
Mhm.
So, like, and also like the kids are a reflection of you. Like it's you give respect, they will give respect because they don't want to lose that, because out there it is not nice. And if you want to avoid the stuff, the headlines out there, is you need to train your kids with respect, and in turn they will have a good self that they can overcome what comes with a good self. Someone come to bully, they don't care about them. They're gonna get. I'm like, I don't want to deal with you. If someone want to peer pressure, they're not gonna succumb to that. Also, you don't want to get bullied, or if you don't want kids to bully somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
you want the kids not to be not to what's called peer pressure, not to go to peer pressure and do something you don't do. It starts with you. They are a reflection of you.
Yeah.
So treat them with respect. Give them the proper information. They will retain some. They will forget. Be patient. They are
Yeah.
kids. Spend time with them. 1 hour a week is enough. If you don't
Yes.
sit down, don't do stuff they want to do. Yes, extracurricular activity. Put all the lists in one of them. Say, what do you want to? Do you want to skate? Do you want to play basketball? Do you want to paint? Do you want to swim? Put them in.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, I'm gonna put you in swimming lesson because it's convenient
I
for
was going to
you.
tell you, get them involved.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Just take it all the time.
And you let them know, if you don't like it, let me know, and we can choose something else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just give them the respect. Give them a course. Give them a choice. Once a month, tell them like, you get to choose what we want to eat for dinner. As long as
Okay.
cake or candy, it has to has like protein, whatever, and they will tell you, and you'll be surprised what they want to eat. Some days they want to eat legume. You're like, who are you?
Rice.
But like, treat them with respect. Give them a voice. Give them a choice. And in turn, you don't have to worry about them when you're not looking. That's
Yeah.
my.
Thank you so much. You want to add something, Saskia?
No, just really, I'm involved in every step of the way, and I will just teach them how to communicate.
Okay.
It will keep them easily able to talk to you. You know, they don't, you don't force things, like what he said about using the activity, for example. They just, okay, that's great. We register for swimming. It goes for 6 lessons. Okay. If after the first, you're like, I hate it, I want to stop, I'm like, well, I already paid for it. No.
Yes, you need to
You
build.
got gonna have a little commitment.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do the 6 weeks, but then after that you can change.
And sometimes you'll be surprised they don't want to change because they're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Look at her, I'm on your level. Because the first lesson is hard. You know? And once they come to you with something that is dire, bad news, because they're gonna come to you with something and you'll be like, you did what? Don't lose your mind on them. Be like, he came on her own, or the kids came on their own accord to tell
Okay.
you stop. Don't add to that mess up.
Oh boy.
God, be like, okay, this is how you get out of that situation. Even though you want to get the belt and give them a whooping, don't. Because they willingly came to you for advice, and you want that door open.
Oh boy.
Open. Because if you lose your mind on them, they will.
Yeah. That would be the last time.
Same for when they have a bad day.
Yes.
A lot of times they come and tell you, I had a bad day today. My friend didn't want to play with me. In my head, I'm like,
It's like, that's what you go about it? Okay.
all right.
So you
Like, he didn't play at all with you today? Well, he played in the morning. Well, did you want to this morning? No. So I'm like, okay, well, if you're allowed to go play with somebody else, would you think he can be playing with somebody else too?
So that's the time to give them advice, and they can. That's
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are amazing. Keep up the good work. Keep up inspiring us and being an example for all of you, all of us. And yeah, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks.
So until next time.
right.
All right, bye.